So I got to meet Mahmoud early in the morning. He's a master weaver, and he had all these incredible pieces. And I was curious because whenever I go into a tent with a bunch of high end carpets, rugs, I don't know much until now. Once I talked to him, I literally went to Marburger's, kind of a high end place over at Round Top, and I was able to see the quality and determine if it was handmade or if it was machine made or if it was a print. So I think you get a lot out of this. The guy was super generous with our time. He was actually in between New York Times interviews, and he was more than happy to share his time. You'll see right at the end of the video too that how we ended it is a reflection of his personality and his passion. So enjoy Mahmoud.
Mahmoud, who is a master weaver, world renowned, and he's going to show us, because I know a lot of times people go to fairs and they see rugs and they can't tell the difference between a $200 one and a $2,000 one, so he's going to give us some good tips. How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
Good. So, I go in and what are things to look for in a couple of minutes that I can tell it's a quality rug?
So the quality rugs, it does not matter where it's from, it matters how it's made. And what's it's made of. So this is a runner right here. This is called Uşak. It's made in Turkey. That's the stylish right now. This is a very new one, never been used, and it has a small amount of knots per square inch. That's why you can see the red in here and the black. So the knots, when we're talking about knots, is like you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and as you go. And that's the higher the knots, the faster it gets, and the smaller the knots, the lower, the slowest that takes, more time and more price. And also, this is 100% wool. So wool from the warp, wool from the knots, that makes it 100% wool. See, this is the new products. When you see a rug like this, it shouldn't be that expensive because this is a fast-produced item. What you're talking about fast-produced is not hours or days. No, this is still takes about 2 months because it's still hand-woven. But it's not very, very small, tiny. Now, this is a small example. I do have a lot of olds, but this is an old Iranian rug. This is 80 years old, 90 years old, something like that. So if you look at the back side of it, you cannot even count the knots with your eyes if you don't have a really good eyes. You have to look very closely because the knot is very, very tiny. And believe it or not, that's one of the heaviest knots, like the biggest knot, but it's not the most expensive. The smaller is the knot, the pricier it gets. Now this is also handmade, but this is called flat weave. This is a kilim. This one is done by weave. That's what I do. We do the kilims by hand. This is my family. We do it in 3 different countries, and it's a hand woven, not hand knotted. This is a hand knotted. So the weaver will warp the loom and then knots by knots by knot by knots. This one, it will warp the loom and by the weft. So it goes like between the warp. And this one also comes, the smaller the weft is, the yarn, the longer it takes, and the more pricey it will be. And the details, like in here, when you are talking about handmade kilims, the gaps, it's very visible, like you can put your finger in it. That's a handmade one. When it's 100% the same, white, blue, 100% the same from 2 sides, if you're not expert, like for me, just looking at it from far away, I will know if it's handmade or machine made. But if you're learning, you have to make sure it's all the side the same, and the warp is part of it, and there's no cut or stitch in here. That's a handmade kilims.
And now, can you show me how somebody can identify when it was not handmade?
The not handmade, see, like in here, got an example, because I have a family that we do this. So this is a kilim right here. That's a flat weave too, but this is a machine made. So first of all, it has a stitch on the side, and the tassels, the warp, it's added on. So if we cut it, this yarn, you see it's added on. It's stitched by hand. And then flip it to the other side, is a different colors.
Which tells you it's
machine made. So, and sometimes it will be all gray though, like this one, because that's mean it's a printed rug. Like here, the one I have, it's white and all the colors. That's a print.
Mm-hmm.
If it's colorful, that's woven but still machine made. Mm-hmm. It has to be white to be able to do it, like to be that handmade. Mm-hmm. And it will not be any stitches. This is a handmade killing right here. That's coming part of it. This is the warp right here. You can see how the warp is going from outside right here all the way to the other side of the rug. So that's part of it. Mm-hmm. If you unravel this yarn, you will see this warp, how it's inside of it. And
this
that's
one you're saying
that has nothing. This is just a fabric,
right? But the sides
and
here,
a print.
You can tell
the side is stitched, and
it looks too perfect. It's not
perfect. Yep, too perfect. Like this one here, it's a handmade one, and it's stitched by hand. You see, it looks perfect, but it's not. If you look closely, the yarn, it's still bigger spot, smaller spot. It's not 100% perfect. Like this one, a little bit of flaws, but if you measure them with a tape measure, it's all one thickness, you see? Mm-hmm. Because the tailor, when he cut it and he goes with the machine, this is like this, it makes it one thickness. Now, one part of the yarn will be loose like this, because this is floss still, you know, like machine made by hands of the man. Mm-hmm. It's not like done with fancy machines, you know. Right, it's done like small tailors machines.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I mean, right? That guy delivers. What a super nice guy. He is from generation after generation of master weavers, and the stuff he makes is incredible. Mahmoud the Weaver. If you want to check him out some more, we want to thank him one more time, and thank you for joining us. So we've done vintage dealers, we've done master weavers, we'll be talking to entrepreneurs that own their own stores at the major antique fairs in their hometowns, art dealers, jewelers, repurposing experts. So that's all coming up. So it's gearing up to be a great run here as we're in between Round Top and Brimfield. Got my first tent at Brimfield, and I've been kind of going nuts and organizing my stuff and pricing it out, putting it in boxes. I'm excited. I can't wait for it to start. So that'll be here soon. Until next time, thanks for watching.